So I'm going to be going over briefly the paper prototype which I've made for the new content generator graphic user interface. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at that and go over each heuristic. So heuristic number one, explain what new features do and why they're useful. In this paper prototype, I have descriptions of the content generator, which is an existing feature, and it has a description now and how to use it. And the population generator also explains that this is a new feature and that it gives you some direction on how to use it as well. Um, so that covers heuristics 1 and 2. Number 3, let people get as much information as they want and no more than what they want. So currently I have enter topic, enter keyword, and then I've included here optional as well as population generator optional. So just if you want to search for a topic, it should be clear that you can just enter a topic, hit generate, and get your results. If you want a little bit more detail, you can enter the keywords, the population generator. I've also included advanced search options where you can, in the future, maybe specify how long you want your content or how short you want your content and the type of content that you want. But this feature being added allows for more specification on that. Keeping familiar features available. This one, it follows the original layout where it's enter a topic, enter a keyword button, and your results here. The current GUI that's running at this time, this is what it looks like. It's has the same entry boxes, but now we just have some more context. But the general layout is pretty similar and has the same features. One thing that I did re-add from the first version was the upload CSV file, which I had originally taken away because we didn't use it in the previous print. But this would be a reintroduction of a familiar feature, and this would be another way to include alternate paths to getting information. Make it undo and redo what I did here. So search history, which is similar to like a browser history I was imagining. If you click this, you'd have a breakdown of previous searches that you've had in the past for both the content and population generator. And clicking on one of those history links would return the state of the content generator to that, so you can easily review some of the things that you've done. And then different approaches, as I mentioned before, just re-including the CSV file instead of having to manually enter everything in would be an alternative way to do things. And then also the advanced search options provides a different way to kind of get different results, I feel like. And communicating the effort. So the effort that's involved, what I did was one, I numbered it to provide a path, but also it kind of shows you that it only takes about 2 steps to get the content generated. And I've included the optional, so even if you don't want to do that, you might just want to enter a topic, and that's enough. Or if you want to get more details, then you can click on this advanced search option, and that'll give you some more control for people who need more specific content or get exactly what they're looking for. And that advanced search option would also apply to the population generator too, to get more specific population statistics from the census.gov in the future, possibly. And then number 8, the path I've explained is just numbered now, and with the description under each, that should provide, I think, enough of a pathway. And then encourages mindful tinkering. I'd say so, just because it has these different ways that you can enter the keywords, but different blue highlighted buttons that you can click that encourages users to try different things out if they're interested, but just kind of the nature of this function where you type something in, push a button, something comes up pretty quickly. I think encourages tinkering in itself, just because at least when I was testing this out, I was trying a lot of different words, and just I'm not sure if that necessarily counts towards the tinkering with the program, but just playing with it and seeing what kind of content we can make is very interesting with this, just the way it's set up and how quick it is. And then going through the code smells, previously we had done this at the end of February, so the code has pretty much been mostly refactored. Something I did want to point out, commented out code, I didn't necessarily feel like I had any real commented out code. What I did have though, here's a quick run through of the code itself, was that I have a comment here just to remind myself how to run this program as the server in the terminal, which you would have to call Python Content Generator and then flag it as a server. But I feel like at this time that's still necessary because the program doesn't automatically run as a server. I haven't implemented that yet, so possibly in the future, when you start up the program, it might ask you if you want to run it as a server in content, or as a client, or as a server, and it could do this automatically, and then this could be removed. But at this time, this is still necessary to run the program. As for redundant comment, I did have one which I felt was redundant under the function serve, and it said run content as a server, so instead I just renamed the function as run as server and removed that comment. No particularly long comments. I did have a longer function, which was the main function, the content generator content search function, which I've just broken up into two functions now. So this was previously one whole function, which is about 15 to 20 lines. Instead, I've replaced it with just 2 lines here to call the function, and then whatever results it produces, it will be returned here. And I did want to mention that I think this is a good fix, a good refactor, because should in the future I want to include other sources besides Wikipedia, they could be included here and accessed to different functions where content can be searched and just returned into this try portion. I think that would be a good thing. And this is a breakdown of how I split it up. No functions have too many jobs. I think each function has a specific job that is necessary in each portion. And no particular long lines. No convention changes, because inconsistent conventions. Everything follows pretty much the same pattern if you go through it. And vague naming, I did have one that had a vague name. This app window was actually called header before I fixed it, which when I was going back, it's been a couple weeks now, and I was not too certain what header was referring to, and I didn't have a comment. What it really meant was this was the setup for the application window itself that sets up the frame. So I felt that just renaming the function app window was specific enough to remind me what this function does. Otherwise, the other function names are pretty specific as to what it's doing and are self-explanatory, and if not, then I had a little bit of comments just to remind myself what they're doing, but nothing's overly long. Function names are pretty specific, and overall I feel like the code itself is looking pretty clean. Thank you so much. I hope you have a good rest of your day.